All right, my people, let's talk about beauty, grace, elegance, and that soft glow that does not need permission to enter a room. Because when we mention Sonia Uche, you already know we are talking about a woman whose presence alone can shift the energy of any gathering, and yesterday was one of those moments that had timelines buzzing. Because while fans were still whispering about the alleged situation, involving Maurice Sam and Pearl Watts, our girl, stepped out to a party looking like heartbreak, could never even dare touch her, and let's be honest, whether the rumors are true or just social media detectives doing overtime, the way she carried herself last night deserves a full breakdown. Because first of all, Sonia's beauty is not the loud type that screams for validation. It is that calm, confident, effortless beauty that grows on you the more you look at her, from her radiant skin that seems to glow under any light to those expressive eyes that always tell a story even when she is not saying a word. And if you have watched her movies, you already know that her smile alone can light up an entire scene. So imagine that same smile walking into a party setting, dressed to perfection, even with people online speculating that her heart might have been bruised by the whole Maurice Sam choosing Pearl Watts narrative. Now let us be clear, nobody has confirmed anything, and none of them have publicly addressed these rumors. But you know how fans can be. Once two co-stars have chemistry on screen, the expectations become real in people's minds. And when another name enters the picture, the internet writes a whole script. But what really caught attention was not the gossip, it was how stunning Sonia looked at that party. She wore confidence like an accessory. Her outfit hugged her frame in the most classy, elegant way, not trying too hard, but still commanding attention. And the way cameras flashed around her, you could tell every angle was her good angle. And that is not exaggeration, because some people need filters, some people need perfect lighting, but Sonia has that natural softness mixed with strength that makes her photogenic without effort. And let us talk about her composure. Because if truly she was heartbroken, like blogs are suggesting, you would never have known from the way she interacted with people. She was smiling, greeting friends, posing for pictures, and even laughing in some clips that circulated online. And that right there is a reminder that sometimes the most beautiful thing about a woman is not just her face, but her ability to hold herself together gracefully when the world is assuming things about her. And that is what makes Sonia stand out. She does not beg for attention, she attracts it. She does not chase validation, she embodies it. And maybe that is why fans feel so protective over her. Because when people started pushing the narrative that Maurice Sam allegedly chose Pearl Watts over her, social media turned into a courtroom with opinions flying left and right, some saying she deserved better, some saying it was all just publicity, and others saying there was never anything romantic to begin with. But through all that noise, Sonia kept quiet. And that silence speaks volumes, because sometimes responding gives rumors more oxygen, and sometimes the real power move is showing up looking flawless and unbothered, which is exactly what she did at that party. Now, let us appreciate the details, because beauty is in the details. Her hair was styled in a way that framed her face, perfectly enhancing her cheekbones and highlighting her smooth complexion. Her makeup was soft glam. Nothing over the top, just enough to enhance her natural features, and those lips that always look perfectly shaped carried a shade that complemented her skin tone so beautifully. And as she moved around the venue, there was this calm aura around her, like she understood her worth regardless of whatever stories were trending. And that is something young girls watching can learn from, because heartbreak, whether real or rumored, should never reduce your shine. And if anything, it should remind you of your value and elevate your standards. And speaking of value, Sonia has built a brand around talent, grace, and consistency. She is not just a pretty face, she delivers emotionally in her roles. She connects with audiences, she brings depth to characters. And that is why people root for her beyond relationship gossip. And if we are being honest, the entire narrative about Maurice Sam choosing Pearl Watts over her might just be fans reading too much into social media interactions. Because celebrities can collaborate, can attend events together, can post photos, and suddenly the internet decides who is dating who. But regardless of what is true or false, what cannot be debated is that Sonia walked into that party like a queen and left people talking not about sadness, but about style, not about rejection, but about radiance. And there is something powerful about that, because sometimes the best response to whispers is success and self-assurance. And maybe that is what we witnessed yesterday, a woman choosing herself, choosing joy, choosing to step out instead of hiding, and that in itself is beautiful. And let us not ignore how supportive her fanbase has been, because under posts from that event comments were filled with compliments calling her stunning, breathtaking, elegant, and reminding her that she is enough. And that kind of love from supporters can be healing whether there was heartbreak involved or not. And it also shows that people see her for more than just a rumored love triangle. They see her growth, her hard work, her journey. And that is something no gossip can take away. And if Maurice Sam truly has anything going on with Pearl Watts, that is their story to tell, not ours to assume. But Sonia's story yesterday was about resilience wrapped in glamour. It was about turning what could have been an awkward narrative into a moment of empowerment. And let us be honest, not everyone can do that. Not everyone can step into a room where people are low-key analyzing them and still glow like nothing happened. That takes inner confidence, and Sonia clearly has that in abundance, and maybe that is why her beauty feels different. It is not just physical, it is layered with poise, intelligence, and emotional strength. And that combination is rare. So, while timelines continue to speculate and fans continue to connect dots, what remains constant is that Sonia Uche is undeniably beautiful inside and out. And if heartbreak was part of her motivation to attend that party, then she turned pain into power in the most stylish way possible. And if there was no heartbreak at all and it was just another day of internet storytelling, then she still gave us a masterclass in how to show up and own your narrative without saying a single word, because sometimes the loudest statement is simply walking in glowing and walking out unforgettable. And that is exactly what she did. And my people, that is why, regardless of rumors, regardless of who chooses who, and regardless of online assumptions, Sonia's beauty, confidence, and grace remain unmatched. And that is the real gist.